because yes,
my girl over here famous.
Oh my God, you are so crazy. It is definitely. So first of all, when I first filmed that scene, I had no clue, like not even the slightest clue that it would have blown up the way that it did.
Yeah.
I was very shocked, to say the least. I remember going on set. It wasn't even like it was a day, but like, a few hours of filming.
Yeah.
And so the scene overall was like 2 minutes and like 20 seconds, like overall, that I was in from the start to finish. And the fact that I legit did not know that, one, how it was going to look in post, but two, that people were going to react to it the way that they did. It was crazy because it was a lot of responses to that, So the scene was shot in the park, and it was a shootout in broad daylight. And in the shootout, the guy in the film, he had a curved bullet that he used to kill me. And so I remember, like, I gotta play dead, like, I gotta, learn how to do that. And then, like, I don't even know what this scene from Wanted is. Like, the director was like, oh, you have to go see that. Yeah. I had no clue, like, nothing.
How it was gonna go down.
I was in the dark in all of
crazy.
it.
Yo,
right?
Can we take a moment for the viewers to see this clip right quick?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Check this out, y'all.
And then,
But so that was the scene, and it was just funny because the way it started for me, I was like, okay, like this, I forgot I did it because we filmed like almost a year ago.
Yeah, it was a year ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It was like some time, and so
that's how it'd be though.
It was like your first time when you came to Atlanta, or
kind of somewhat like that. Like it was. I was here for maybe like a few months, so not too long. But I remember like a week ago or so, my friend reaching out to me like, hey, is this you? And that was the first message I got, and it was nonstop after that. Like, hey, is this you? Is this you? Is this you? Because I really never told anybody. Yeah, because I forgot. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you told us. You was like, yeah, I was in one. And so we was like, where's the movie at? She was like, it's gonna come out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the thing is, Tyler hit me up. Our producer, shout out to Tyler, producer, man. You know what I'm saying? He in the background. Y'all gonna see him at some point. Yes. But he had hit me up. He was like, hey, is this Keisha? I'm pretty sure this is Keisha, but I'm not sure. Yeah. As soon as I seen it, I was like, that's absolutely Keisha.
That is
right.
You know
what I mean? Mind you, I'm like 3 million views.
Right.
Yeah.
This is going crazy.
It went crazy.
Yeah. I was chilling in public when somebody said that shit.
I wanted to wait to see what you was gonna say. I was gonna hit you. I thought about it. I was like, nah, she gonna say something. I know she is. So I'm just waiting to see what she got to say.
I was in public and I was just chilling there, and a few of my homeboys like, "Yo, you seen this movie when this dude curved the bullet? What's going on?" And I'm like, I ain't paying attention. I ain't paying no mind or whatever, right? So then Keisha, she came out with a video explaining the situation. And I'm just like, what?
I did not expect that.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, a girl in the movie got killed. So I'm like, okay. So I went on Tubi, did my research, blase, and I seen her do her scene and everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Then once I saw that, Instagram always have stuff that you research on, like this list. You seen DJ Pooh posting
everybody,
it.
Little
Duval posted
D.L. Hughley posted
it. Hughley, all of that.
It was everywhere. Yeah. It was everywhere. But needless to say, it was a lot of fun to just kind of respond and react to people. Because a lot of the comments, I went through the comments. I talk about that all the time in our when we talking. I love the comments.
It was thousands of comments.
I love the comments, and I literally went through all of them, like scrolled through all of them and responded to people, and like actually was like, okay, like if they were saying something that was disrespectful, like if it was so disrespectful that I was just kind of like, I don't want to fight on the internet with this person.
Definitely
I was
don't do that,
not
no.
responding to them. But like if there was someone who said something like, oh, this scenes, like this independent films, like they're not good, and then I had to respond and be like, no, like this is what makes Hollywood as well. These independent artists,
Absolutely.
and I mean independent artists, independent directors,
Directors,
independent projects, the low budget films or whatever that have smaller budgets. I think smaller budgets is a better word to describe it. Is so essential and it's so important because that's where you find the stories that are not being told. That's where you find these great people who are plucked out that never got a chance. I mean, you know, so it was definitely, I felt very passionate about responding to people like that, just to kind of, in my way, like some strange way, educate people, even though I'm like, you know, this was something that just randomly happened. I didn't even know it was going to blow up like that. But for me to feel like I'm going to go in the comments and say something, I was very strong about that because a lot of times smaller films or independent films are associated with like, or I should say Tubi. A lot of people associate it sometimes with black artists or directors and writers to say like, oh, because I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, this, what in the ghetto Tubi name is
like
this? You know,
Nollywood.
exactly. Exactly. So it, to me, is more like, don't discredit this.
Absolutely.
Don't put this down. Don't make this seem like it's, you know, not the work of someone who had a vision.
Who has passion.
And who has passion and who's dedicated and committed to their career and
actually
their craft.
put action behind their words, you know?
So I had to check a few people, okay?
No, absolutely.
I did, and I felt good about it. I slept very well that night because it felt good to like even see the response from people who really, even if they just liked my comment, to say like, yeah, like exactly, or just to be like, oh, you know what, like, damn, you're right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt good to do that because I think that that's even what we try to do is bridge that gap, right? Hello, I'm sorry, shameless little plug. But, like, you know, being able to, like, say, like, look, like, you don't have to be disrespectful. Just because it's going to get you a like on your comment or, like, laugh or whatever, like, you don't have to always do that. Sometimes just supporting is enough.
Keep it pushing,
Yeah, exactly. So I loved that it was, you know, a moment where I felt like I was stepping out and doing what it was that I actually, you know, wanted to do. So that felt good. I love that.
I can honestly say that you got our full support with each
100.
and everything that you
I want to
do.
see. We need to see more.
Okay. All right. I love it. I will definitely do that.
Absolutely.
I love that. And I think that's really important. And even just to talk about things on Tubi, you know, I remember that was where I saw to me, I can recall the first time I really saw black cinema. Yeah. And I'm not saying that other streaming platforms did not have that.
Not en masse like they do.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's where I felt like that was a platform that a lot of people felt that they could upload their things to because it may not have had such a large budget, but Tubi was receiving them, you know, and taking it and posting it, and people were able to see these films. And so I think that that's where you can get into the minds of these black creatives and their genius, you know what I mean? And so it kind of also goes into how you see these different films kind of show up where we didn't really have a space as black people. Sometimes you didn't really see sci-fi for black people or people in films.
And that's huge.
Yeah, in those different genres. And so I love that you're starting to see more of that, you know, and like, I think like with Clone Tyrone, who cloned Tyrone?
Man,
I want y'all to talk about this
that's
because I want to see this because I really want you to kind of give the overview of it because I really think it's cool to start to see these different stories being told, you know what I mean, that aren't always this typical, you know, what it means to be black in America.
For one, I want to shout out Jamie Foxx for just doing an amazing job on that project, as well as who played Tyrone. Tyrone.
It's crazy because
who played
I talked
Tyrone
about him so much yesterday.
Yeah, I forget the actor, man.
It.
I forget the actor. I swear I forget the
John
actor.
Boyega.
Yeah, John.
There it is.
So here's the thing: John Boyega in this role. I only seen him in Star Wars, the current trilogy, right? The last one, and he had kind of a goofy kind of character. I would never put him in this position and think that he would thrive, but in that type of movie, and this is why Tyrone was good to me. Jamie Foxx wasn't like the main character.
No.
Like he reminded me of Jamie Foxx on the Jamie Foxx show. You know,
really?
Yeah, because he was more. It was a lot of comedy. He was more of a comedic character. He was like the comedy character.
can see that.
He was there specifically for comedy. So it was like he was like a side character, while John Boyega really just ran the whole thing.
Word.
And that type of role from him was just completely like, oh man, he could do this too.
Yeah.
So, like you said, being a sci-fi movie, which is what it is, sci-fi comedy kind of movie.
Yep.
It blew my mind because with the stereotypes and everything, and I don't want to spoil it because really, if I do say something about it, it's going to spoil it.
It's gonna spoil it.
No. Okay.
But let's just say I feel like it has a message behind the
absolutely
whole
has a
thing.
message behind the whole thing.
Yeah.
With the sci-fi going in at the same time is something I haven't seen. I was really surprised that it was on Netflix.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's definitely I think it could have went to the movie theaters, but I understand why it went to Netflix because
Facts.
it might not have gotten the recognition that it gets today.
Yeah. I mean, you have a lot of streaming platforms, Hulu, Pluto, and all this other stuff like that. So, movies right now, especially theaters, are going like they pretty much irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Because ever since the pandemic hit, I just feel like at home, HBO Max, you got the movie right there. You chilling at the crib. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I love the movie, man.
Not Netflix and chilling. Oh Lord.
HBO Max and chilling too.
Oh God, HBO
Stars and
Max
chilling.
and chill.
Stars and chilling.
Oh Lord, it's just crazy. I love the movies, so I really feel like I'm gonna always go to the movies. I love movie theater nachos.
I feel you.
So I'm always going to
You
go
love movie
theater nachos.
That's wild. I've
Yes,
never
that's
heard
what I
nobody
call
say
it.
that.
I love them.
Do you
I
go?
love
How?
Do you go where they serve like food and drinks, like when
Oh
you sit
yeah,
down? and
I
stuff?
do that. But
Yeah.
I live for the movie theater nachos.
I feel you.
Absolutely. 110%. I am like, ooh.
I could talk about.
When I think about going to the movies,
I would
I'm
love
thinking
to
about
just
the movie theater
wonder how
nachos.
You would like those, but that's a whole
What do you
different.
mean how? Oh my God, that's
Wow.
crazy. Don't judge me. That is so rude. They're so good, okay? You know what, Kel? Whatever.
I'm bougie. Kind of.
I love the movie theater nachos. So
I'll let you have it.
yes, thank you. Let me have it. But even though, so talking about they cloned Tyrone.
Right.
It's just like this strange story, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on?
It's
like,
crazy, yeah.
I have to see it. I have not seen it yet. Honestly, I have to
Thank
admit
y'all
that.
for watching the Bridge ATL. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell and stay locked in. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Peace.